Our new Saturday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Got Sticker granddaughter here and Sticker teenager. You guys gonna say hi?
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going out there? We got a few people watching.
Nobody's watching.
Brad Parnell say good evening.
How you doing, Brad Parnell? So I didn't get the 2004, the new Beatles and Mono box set that was just released yesterday. I did order it from the Beatles store. Don't know if it got canceled, or I hear they're hard to get. So cross my fingers I get it next week. I ordered the box set. Did you guys order the box set? So I ordered the next best thing. Got it in. 1982 black, the Beatles mono collection. There were 1,000 exported to the United States from the United Kingdom. They called it the BM1. There were only 1,000 of them, mostly in the United States. This is number 645. It's all near mint condition, hardly played, except Yellow Submarine was played some, and it's very good plus. The Yellow Submarine's a fold down, but all the rest of them are true mono. I got a matrix number for them. So they're almost all the pressings are from the 781 to 1181, and then it was released to the United States in 1982. The most important one's a rubber sole, is a number 6 HTM on the A side, it was recut, and then on the B side, on side 2 is -5, the true hazel Yarwood mono mix, which is the best mono mix ever, a rubber sole. And then on Sgt. Pepper, it's a -1 tube cut. And Andrew from Polygram Auctions rates this as the best sounding mono pressing of Sgt. Pepper that exists. And the White Album is all tube cut. -2 on record 1 and -4 on record 2. And Revolver's 3T, not -3 HTM, -4 HTM. HTM stands for Harry T. Moss recut it, the mono mix for these pressings on some of them. But before you get your hopes up on this rare mono box set, James Young already bought it today for $2K. All right, carefully put that away because that belongs to him now.
Joseph Mantina said, hello, Sticker family.
How you doing?
Anton Tonia said, good night, greetings from France. Lyon, Beatles fan.
That's a certificate that comes with the Beatles mono collection. All right, James Young. You got it. I told you it would sell during the stream. You already own it. Going out Monday, priority.
Antonio said, good night, greetings from France.
You're going good night already, and you only tuned in for a minute.
He's a new.
No, you've been around before.
Maybe you can take a nap next week and hold. I know we can't be on everybody's best time. We try.
A little Beatles corner said, hi, everybody.
How you doing, Patricia? Your records, your Hard Day's Night, Germany pressing, and the other one you bought, I think it was a Japanese issue, went out the other day, and you said you already sent out my Freddie and the Dreamer cards so I could put a big lot together of this box, the button, and the cards. See if there's any serious Freddy and the Dreamer collectors out there.
Dang says should have had a bidding war for the box set, make it fair for everyone.
Well, I had 2 people message me about it today, Daniel and how do you say his last name?
Costello?
Yes, Costello, and James Young. I'm not at the level that Mike from the In Groove is, where he has thousands and thousands of subscribers, and he can have a whatnot auction. I have 2,100 subscribers, and 48% of people that watch my channel subscribe. So we need some more subscribers.
Wait.
I get to 3,000 subscribers, I'll do an auction, I promise. That's something big.
Joseph Mantino said, I'm doing good. Glad to see you all. I hope you are all good. I'm great.
Are you doing great? Tell them.
No.
Okay. Nicole said, hello, Frank and Sticker Kids.
How you doing, Nicole?
Gregory says, Sticker Kids, smile.
Smile. Give him a smile. Give Gregory a smile. Give him your weird smile. All right, you're going to put the hat on? Then you'll smile.
Nicole said, damn, I was late for that blue box.
It's a black box, but yeah. Nice try.
A little Beatles Corner said, congrats to James Jones on the box.
James Young.
James.
Yeah, that's good. We'll get this right. All right, this sold earlier today. I have 4 sets of authentic Beatles autographs, and 1 has been sold. My lowest price one sold today, $5,600. If you see on the scrapbook paper, it says, to Frank, best wishes, John Lennon. Kind of hard to let that go, but my son's going to help me professionally package that, and it goes out Monday. And on the other side, George, Paul, and Ringo autographs from 1963. You know that once 1964 and they came to America, Beatle autographs were authentic, were real tough to get. Mal Evans and Neil Aspinall was told by Brian Epstein, you better learn how to do their autographs and autograph on behalf of the boys, because the boys are too busy. This comes with a COA from Roger Epperson. He works for PSA DNA, the group that does the authenticating of autographs on Pawn Stars. All right, can you put that carefully over there?
Jenna Jameson said, a shame that black box is going to a blue state.
Blue state. It is going to California.
Is that
You know why I live on California time? Because all the best stuff is bought from California on the internet, and all the best stuff is sold to California.
Blue's the girl.
Or at least it used to be that way. It's pretty much still that way. But New Jersey, New York, Texas, that'd be your 3 hot spots. What's going on in the conversation? I'm missing out.
What'd I do?
Nothing.
No, why you stare at me?
I think you did something. You know what you did.
No.
You got a joke?
Why would I? 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes, I'll have a joke.
No. I'm supposed to have a minute. I'm supposed to have a joke at 10:30.
Okay, 10:30.
I mean 11.
No, we're not on until 11, but... Oh, yeah, we're on 11. All right, at 11. Okay, gotcha. All right, we're going to give this away in a few, about 10 minutes. One trivia question about the Beatles making the movie Help. This is an official book that was bought at the lobby when you went to see the Help movie in 1965. Oops, there come the pages out. I have another one with the pages are tied in there. I'll send out the better one. All right, a few notes. You gonna sit down there, Sticker Kid? Are you changing things up? No playing with the Beatles flag today.
Why?
I got in trouble for that last week.
Well, now I can play with it because I have gloves on.
A few shout outs. Perry Cox sold a little hardback book of John Lennon in his own right tonight. The first printing from 1964 in the United States with a little red hype sticker. It said "The Writing Beetle." I've had that 3 times in my lifetime. He sold it for $500. A little book, not any bigger than, it's smaller than this. And he sold it for $530 tonight. There was a heavy bidding war on it. Well, I'm showing these. I got this from a collection today. The Beatles Monthly, the first issue, kind of rough shape, a tear on the front. This is the hardest issue to get, number 1. Number 2 from the UK, cost 1 shilling and 6 pence back in 1963. And issue number 3. And there's another one in here. Number 64 with Macca on the front and all 4 Beatles on the back. November 1968. Let's see what the fold-out looks like. That's the colored fold-out. Hard to do with the gloves. I just put on a new pair of gloves. I got buy one, get one free at Walgreens for $3.99. Got Ringo there. Notice I got my Ringo Avedon poster shirt on today from 1967. Those photos were taken. Any messages? Any questions? We'll keep on going.
Gregory Field said, Beatles, porn capital of the world. Chatsworth, California, 5 miles away.
What is?
Beatles, porn capital of the world.
Oh, okay. Beatles. Okay. Put that with the this matrix with the black box set if you can slide it in there. I got the matrix for all numbers.
Oh,
All the
okay.
pressing. So I got a big Beatles collection in today. Got another fan club 1968 bulletin fold-out poster. That was you got from the Christmas time from joining the Beatles fan club in the United States. Look at the Beatles, they don't have any mustaches. They must have got rid of the mustaches after Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane for a while. And all 3 tour programs were in there. And you know what the secret of this trivia question about these programs are? These were sold for $1 at the Beatle concert, 64, 65, and 66. And all those dollars went into well, they changed it into 10s, 20s, $100 bills. Went into a paper bag, and they were given to Brian Epstein after the concert. And that money was pretty much hush money for whatever problems need to be taken care of, or somebody had some expenses. Cash money from these programs sold at Beatle concerts. Brian Epstein had that little trick.
Can you tell my dad to give me a mint?
No, you don't eat candy on straight.
It's a mint.
So all these are the nice albums that were part of this collection I got today. We got a Hard Day's Night import that was $5.29, brought over to the United States, and the importers would shrink wrap them. And it's got an inner sleeve that has Sgt. Pepper on it, so it's got to be a 68 stereo pressing of Hard Day's Night. Or it has to be a 67 because it has sold in the UK still on the label. So a 67 pressing of A Hard Day's Night, and the dead wax is -1, -1. So that's the first tube cut of A Hard Day's Night stereo. You know, a lot of people think that's their favorite Beatles album because all the songs are Lennon and McCartney.
Brad Parnell said $1 back then is like $10 in today's money.
Yeah, Mike from the In Group did a whole video. Or was it Noble Records?
I don't know.
It was Noble Records did a whole video. Our vinyl expensive, and it's not. If you relate the money in '64 to money today, it's basically the same price. So there was a Meet the Beatles mono in shrink. This is a number 6 from LA. Probably a 1965 pressing, but it's still in the dark blue sleeve. But that's a nice Meet the Beatles. And you know that they were talking about that on, that they're paste overs of this. They were talking about that on Rachel's Ghost this morning. Harry from Harry's Music Room. He's been on one of my live streams with Rachel's Ghost. And he was talking about, you know, there's another paste over, and everybody seemed to know it was to Meet the Beatles because they couldn't meet up with the demand. So they would take this slick and they would paste it over other Capitol albums that weren't selling. I've had 3 paste overs in my life of Meet the Beatles. I've never had one with the Beach Boys underneath. I think that'd be pretty cool. But it's usually of artists that weren't selling much at all.
Daniel Costello said, did you read Freemer's review on the Capitol?
I did not read it. I know he liked it quite a bit.
Mikey Arugula said, good evening, friend.
How you doing, Mikey Arugula?
Hi, friend.
Say hi to Mikey.
Hi, Mikey.
You remember you met him in Chicago?
Maybe.
Remember we were at a little table
Yeah.
in a conference room?
Yeah.
Skylar was even there. He was going up and down the escalator.
Yeah, you were busy. So, Mikey, that was a good video you posted today on Mean Mr. Mayo of Beatles hair products. I guess it's about 12 minutes long. Good job. I told you to get a haircut.
Gregory Fields said, I wish I had a 10 spot for every Beatles box review on YouTube, LOL. Same with Target Blue Vinyl. So many reviews.
Yeah, there's overabundance of it. I'm kind of glad I didn't get the Monos box set yet because I don't want to open it and do a review. Everybody else has already done.
Mikey Arugula said, love you guys, and then thanks I will. Heart.
Oh, thanks, he'll want what?
He said,
Oh, he's going to get a haircut.
yeah.
Beetle 65. This is a stereo number. It doesn't have the stereo needle statement on the bottom. It's in the shrink. It originally sold for $2.67, and it's on the Capitol rainbow label. So that was probably 67, 68. Notice how the label's smaller on the later pressings of the Beatle albums than the original. You like that cover photo of Beatles 65? That's part of the box set that just came out. Early Beatles is part of the box set. This is in the factory shrink from the late 60s on the same label as Beatles 65. And yesterday and today, same kind of label. Not a butcher cover. But I played it today, and it's true stereo mixes on all the tracks, even the ones of I Am Only Sleeping and Dr. Robert. They only did that on the 69 pressings where they made a new master tape for yesterday and today, and they used all true stereo mixes.
Trisha wants to know the condition of those records.
These are all in.
I read the comments.
Let me look at this one. This one sounded really good. They're mostly all in excellent condition. There might be a few that are very good plus. Let's look at Beatles 65. Here we go. Yeah, this is very good plus. It's got a few marks, light marks. They're all 1967 pressings except that Meet the Beatles. Let me look at the Meet the Beatles. That's a 64. This would be to have the most valuable. That Hard Day's Night, though, is really nice to get a UK pressing from 67. Was sold in the UK on the middle. Price on that one, Hard Day's Night, is for Tricia is $80 if you're interested. I know you like Hard Day's Night albums. $80. Meet the Beatles, 64 pressing. In very good plus, and then side 2 looks like excellent. All right, let's put those away and go on to the Beatles Christmas album and butcher covers and a trivia question and some UK imports I got today: a mono revolver and a stereo Sgt. Pepper. Here's a cool underground album. If you're interested in this, I was going to sell it to out at the Antique Toy Mall tomorrow, the South Louisville Antique Toy Mall. A 2 LP set, the Beatles live from the Sam Houston Coliseum. This is one of those live shows where they could actually hear what they were doing because they had monitors on stage. It's on Ruthless Rhymes Limited Underground Records. It's got the afternoon show and the evening show from Houston, Texas on, oh, it's 1965, I don't see a date. August 19th, 1965, Houston, Texas. That's an outtake of the butcher cover. $80 on that shipped. If you want it before I take it out tomorrow to the South Louisville Antique Toy Mall, where Jeff and Amy are the owners.
Gregory P.O. said Houston price.
$80.
80.
First person to confirm it gets it. $80 shipped.
$80.
A couple other notes. George Harrison guitar that he used, it was called a Futurama. A little kind of inexpensive guitar he used at 324 shows in Hamburg. Went for $1.3 million in an auction in Julian Auctions in Nashville a couple days ago. And Concert Buddy, that's, what did I say the name of the channel was? Surface Noise. I was peeling a butcher cover 2 nights ago, and they had a live stream that was all about slabbing albums, and they had a picture of a butcher cover that was slab graded a 9 that the Heritage Auctions in Texas sold for $112,000 in February. And they were going on and on saying, oh, that's ridiculous price and everything else. They just didn't know the backstory of it. But then David Bianco of Safe and Sound, Texas, pulled out and said he had another one, a First State, that was factory sealed from '66. And when I watched the replay right away, I could tell the colors were off and the back of it was too white. So I sent a message. I said, David, you have a Japanese counterfeit from the 90s that probably has a colored vinyl in it. So I thought the next morning, I sent that message at like 2 in the morning after I peeled the butcher cover. So the next day I thought I was going to get some hate messages, but I didn't. I got the first one I got from David says, you're right, Frank. My kids accidentally put in that counterfeit in my safe and I pulled it out. So that's a pretty amazing story, I think. But I noticed right away it couldn't be real. This is my real 1966 Second State mono butcher cover from Los Angeles. And he said his was in a loose shrink. I knew that was a dead giveaway. It couldn't be real either. This is 66 in tight shrink with one factory breathe hole here on the front and one here on the back. And you notice that the foxing, that 50 years, 55 years of wear, there was a little browning because of the air gets to that white cover. And I'm so nervous handling this. This is a $8,000 album, so I'll put it away. That's one that you should get slabbed. You're never going to open it up and play it.
Mikey Regula said, that picture is from Shea Stadium.
The picture of the
John Lennon over your shoulder.
over my shoulder. That's from this here. That's from Cincinnati, Cincinnati Gardens.
Daniel Castillo said, I saw they're selling the Wizard of Oz slippers in the heritage auctions.
How much did that go for? So this is John Lennon on August 21st, 1966 at the Cincinnati Gardens when they had to play they had to postpone the day before, and they played at noon at the Cincinnati Gardens, a real quick concert. Then they flew to St. Louis and did another show that evening.
No, he was talking about on the album. I thought he was talking about that.
On the album. That was a picture from, I don't know what we're talking about.
I don't know, he said San Antonio.
Oh, the Houston, Texas?
It must be.
Highest bid for the Wizard of Oz slippers is $500K.
500K. Wow.
500,000.
So one other thing about this butcher cover before I get off butcher covers. I sent Concert Buddy a message that the reason that one in Heritage Auctions went for $112,000 is because it was one of the Allen Livingston's covers, the 23 sealed that he had in his closet for 25 years before he gave them to his son Peter. They took it to Fest for Beetle fans in LA in the early 1990s, and Perry Cox is the first one that bought one. He bought a stereo for $2,500. It's probably worth close to $200,000 now. But those are pedigree copies, first dates of the butcher covers that are factory sealed, and they're probably the only ones that exist in the world, those 23. And that's why in that auction earlier this year, it went for $112,000. So nobody can understand that price, but I'm telling you, that's why it went for so much money. All right, I got to put my sealed butcher cover away. We can't have sticker granddaughter playing with.
The hell? You must be talking about sticker kids.
No, he said specifically you.
Your Japanese friend said, good evening, Frank. It's a great time to hear all about the Beatles.
So is this what Mikey Arugula's talking about?
The Houston album. Is that the Houston album?
So this picture he's saying is from Shea Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
66 Shea Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any takers on that at $80? Before I take it out, I know I got a guy out tomorrow. We'll buy that out at Blue Lick.
PWC said, how much do you charge to peel a butcher cover? Thanks.
I charge $400 to peel a East Coast butcher cover. I'll show you one that I peeled the other night. You saw it on one of my shorts. It was kind of in rough shape. It was halfway peeled. That's a trunk slick, remains of the trunk slick I took off of it. And this is what I could salvage out of it. All the seams were split. And I took the tape off of 2 seams, but I was afraid if I took off the bottom, it'd completely separate in 2. And I charged $300 to finish that peel. That's what I did last night. What did I do last night?
Granddaughter Gregory's mad you missed his comment earlier about the Futurama.
About the guitar?
Yeah.
There were so many comments saying random stuff.
All right, let's tell Jeffrey's comment about the future.
Gregory?
Gregory.
Gregory Fio said, I sold my 1958 Futurama like George's in Beatles gear. It's a Graco racing. Yeah, you're reading that. I don't know how that.
It's a gray sickle. I don't know how to say it. Sold to Rolling Stone manager.
Let me see.
You can't even read.
So I think that's pretty bizarre. That guitar looked like a real cheap guitar that George was using, but because George had used it all those shows in Hamburg, that's why it went for $1.3 million. So this is I got the West Coast Butcher cover up on eBay, and I have my stereo peeled East Coast #2 on eBay. The East Coast stereo is $2,000, and the Near Mint peeled by Jim Hansen mono West Coast is $3,000. And Annular and Christian, if you guys want that in Mexico, you need to buy it before somebody else does. You send me a message about it. $3,000. So this one's only $1,000 on eBay that I peeled 4 nights ago. A mono East Coast that I touched up there on the edge. All right, I think we're done with our Butcher cover minute.
Who sent you this?
Huh?
Who sent you this?
That's a Perry Cox. That's a Perry Cox note. Thank you, Frank.
Okay, let me get to the comments. My dad's getting mad.
All right, let me show the Christmas album and we'll go to comments.
Gina James said, Gregor, you're badgering the live chat.
Huh.
Vinyl Piper said, good evening, sticker.
How you doing, Chris Vinyl Piper? I'm going to show you, everybody, what you bought here in a second.
Gregory feels that he couldn't get a Storecaster, so he got the Futurama.
All right.
PWC said, Mr. Stickerman, what's your eBay username? Thanks.
STICKERMANIA 2853.
That's your Yahoo.
Where's my card?
Oh no.
Here. It's pretty small. You might not be able to read it. There's my card.
Go that way.
STICKERMANIA 2853. That's my sticker eBay store number. All right. You guys talk about an auction. This is buy it now. That's the way I do it. Buy it now. Joan was out there, was interested in this, but she passed on it. So it's up for sale before it goes on eBay tomorrow night. The best condition original Beatles Christmas album from 1970 USA Fan Club that I've owned in my lifetime. I've had about 10 of them. It's the best condition, completely in the factory shrink. You can see Ringo's eyeballs down here and the Theatre Royal in the second picture. 4 square corners, no breaks in the shrink. Unplayed record with a small indentation, the bell sound, Winchester rifle and the dead wax. $520 shipped. Shipped. $520, one of the best original Beatles Christmas albums you'll ever see.
James Young said, hello, sticker family. All the best from SoCal.
James Young.
James Young.
Everybody's a little bit perturbed you bought the Beatles mono box set before I showed it on the live stream. Oh well, they had a chance too.
Everyone like, subscribe, hit the notification link, please. Thank you.
You see anything on my YouTube shorts? Hold on, you'll be on in a second. See anything on my YouTube shorts you're interested in? Get a hold of me, Mr._StickerMania at yahoo.com.
Read Daniel's comment.
Daniel Castillo said, who wants to hear them say Happy Christmas over and over? I can see why Joan passed on it.
Well, that one song's a little repetition, I agree.
Danny Goldstein said, hi, folks, just joined.
You're not going to see many of those in that kind of condition. Alright, put it away. Guess there's no takers on the Beatles Christmas album. Put that up on eBay tomorrow night. Alright, Chris Vinyl Piper. I saw you were messaging some during the Concert Buddy stream the other day where they were making that mistake about that First Date Butcher cover from Dave Bianco. I can't believe that anybody in the 5 panels, Jason Rojas or none of them, noticed that it wasn't the real deal. But I pointed it out after it was over with. So Chris, the Vinyl Piper, bought these 3 early pressings. We got the late 1962 pressing of My Bonnie. That's the English, the UK, the first record to ever have the Beatles on the label with the original company sleeve. He bought the Love Me Do. Somebody's got another one up on sale on eBay tonight, I noticed. The Love Me Do, -1, the only way you can really hear the original version of Love Me Do because the master tapes were destroyed shortly after they were done with them. Or they were recorded over, I guess. And a 1963 pressing of From Me to You with the VJ. So Chris, the Vinyl Piper, bought those 3 for $450.
Daniel Castillo said, if Joan passed on it, you know it's played out because Joan buys everything.
Joan buys a lot.
Gregory Fields.
But she's bought some expensive items. She bought, the butcher cover and the best one I ever had.
Gregory.
Besides the First Date I sold to the Mexico Beatles group for $17,000.
Gregory Fields said, Frank looking for a Parlophone 45's box set, 24 originals. That's what he's looking for.
24 originals. So I have 2 box sets here. The Beatles singles collection
Parlophones 45.
and the Beatles collection.
Danny.
This is put out by World Records.
Danny Goldstein says that Let Me Do a junior pressing.
Is a what pressing?
A JR pressing. The Love Me Do.
Is a JR pressing. I don't know what a JR pressing means.
Your Japanese friend said, good evening, Frank. Do you have any recommendation for a Marvin Gaye guy?
Marvin Gaye. Nope. I'm a Beatles, Stones, and Led Zeppelin. That's where I spend all my time.
I want to see what was inside it.
All right, but it don't. They get upset if you play with it or anything else. All right, I didn't show this last time. Or my record store 3-inch records that I got another set in. I know this record store day they're gonna have. I think it's Till There Was You, and this is She Loves You. Oh, it must be All My Lovin', because here's Till, I said it wrong. We got a She Loves You, a Till There Was You, I Saw Her Standing There, and I Want to Hold Your Hand. What are these 4 songs? What's the trivia question? What are these 4 songs? Why did they release these 4 songs? What do they have in common in Beatles history? These 4 songs. I Saw Her Standing There, I Want to Hold Your Hand, She Loves You, and Till There Was You, and the new song that they're releasing on this record store day, All My Lovin'. Those 5 songs in Beatle history are all related to each other. What's the answer?
The answer is same album.
Nope.
Danny Goldstein said junior stamping. JR stamping.
JR Stamping.
Gregory Theo said yes, collection.
Talking about the collection he's looking for.
The one I showed? The Beatles collection from 78? Show me, give that back to me. It's over in the corner.
My dad took it away from me.
This is real nice shape. Who is more interested? Gregory Field.
Mm-hmm.
It's got all the inserts. It's got the Sgt. Pepper in the back. And it's got the back in the USSR. So this is one of the last pressings. And it's got the yesterday. Price on that is $200 shipped, Gregory Field.
Played on First Sullivan Show.
That is the correct answer. Who got it?
Me. I guessed it.
You did not. Who got it right?
Couple people.
Yeah, a couple people. Uncle Paul, MFers, Thomas Jean.
Well, I'm glad I
Mikey
didn't. I'm
Virgo.
glad I'm not giving anything away. You guys all got that at the same time. All right, here's our. You got a joke before I go to my trivia question?
Oh, Danny Goldstein said it too.
Wait,
All right, you want sticker time?
maybe.
All right, do it. Sticker time. It's not Ringo Starr time. It's sticker time.
Who is Sticker Town?
Whoa. All right, you got a minute.
Take it, time and you don't.
Let's see you shine.
Hey,
If it's dumb, I'm gonna kill myself.
how many turds have I collected?
Oh my God, no.
How many what?
No.
What?
You do have a joke?
I do, but he won't let me say
All right,
it.
we'll say it.
How many turds?
How many turds?
How many cat turds have I collected?
How many cat turds have you collected? What's the answer? What's the answer?
34.
34?
34.
Oh, 34. That's a good one, 34. All right, Sticker Kid. Any other jokes?
No.
All right, that's a good one.
Do another one.
Okay, let me think of one.
How many cat turds have I collected? 34. I'm glad I better be in the, I don't want you there by yourself. I'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
What?
Because you're a child.
Because you're a child.
You
You're a
got
child too. You're a teenager. No,
I'm actually grown.
you're not 18.
All right, trivia
Yeah.
question time about the help book. And then we'll do a few more notes.
Are you giving something away?
We're giving this away.
What?
The one that's in better shape where the pages are attached. It's in the other room. All right, here's the trivia question.
We're giving something away.
So it's one of four here. When the Beatles stayed in the, what do you call it, the Alps. When they had the skiing scenes and they stayed in the hotel, if I can say this right, Edelweiss Hotel, which of the four Beatles had the largest hotel room? Who's going to get it first? You got to watch it. Now we'll get this book. Which Beatle had the largest hotel room at the hotel they stayed at when they were filming the skiing scenes for
John.
Help? John is not right.
Ringo.
No. Is there any other answers?
Paul.
No.
Whoever says the answer first.
So who's the first person to get
No
George?
one said it yet. There we go.
George, I said it.
Paul should not be allowed to die, guy said George.
All right,
He
Uncle
beat
Paul
Daniel
should
was
not
right behind him.
Uncle Paul should not be allowed to die. You win the help book.
Him and Daniel really said it at the same
I
time.
tried to make it easy so it didn't go on and on tonight. The room numbers were George had a room number 216. No, George had 214. Paul had room number 216. John Lennon had 218. And Ringo had 219.
Someone said Pete Best.
Pete Best. Yeah. Don't think he's with the Beatles at that time.
The Paul should not be allowed to die guy won, not Uncle Paul. I don't know
He
why
wants
I
to know
said
how to get
that.
it, so show him the email again.
Yeah, you need to send me an email with your shipping address.
Thomas Jean said thank you, good night.
Thanks for checking in with us, Tom and Justine.
Sleep good.
We'll be next Wednesday. We'll be up again. Mr_StickerMania at yahoo.com. Give me your address. I'll send that help book out to you on Monday.
Maybe.
Gregory says that he was first, but he wasn't. It went Paul, Daniel, Brad, and then Gregory, and then Uncle Paul.
Gregory
Alright.
said he was way ahead and he wasn't way ahead.
Other notes I have, Matthew Street did a video today where he talked about the Beatles 64 streaming album they just put up on, what do they put streaming on? YouTube? I mean, not YouTube, iTunes?
The first one to say George was, I'm the paw, should not be allowed to die.
Yes, she's the judge. I have to go by her decision.
That's what it says on YouTube. YouTube's not wrong.
So he put up a video about a Beatles 64 streaming album that was put up today, but it was, or yesterday, but it's not, none of the new live tracks from the Beatles documentary movie coming out next Friday. It's just like Beatle tracks mixed in with Little Richard, Chuck Berry, and their influences. It must be an album that's just been put up on stream only. And you have me thinking about something, but that's all right.
Daniel Casilio said, looks like many aren't happy with the contest results.
Well, sorry. You can blame the judge right there.
They're already blaming me. I don't want to be blamed no more.
The Beatles White Album. That was on Yahoo News today. It sowed the seeds for a entire future of rock and roll. The White Album changed everything. Because the album was recorded as if it was for 4 solo Beatle albums, and then they made a double album out of it. So there were 4 solo albums being made at the same time in Abbey Road Studios they had a studio 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then it became the White Album. So it shows you how they changed everything in the future of rock and roll, the White Album. Where's my White Album? This is my top loader White Album stereo. And I won the mono, is coming next week. One of the best mono 10,000 number that Perry Cox had at one time, one of the 10 top condition in the world. I paid around $2,000 for. I got coming next week from California. I told you all the best stuff comes from California. It's a top loader. The other record's down here, and it's got the poster and the inserts.
That one?
It's over here.
Next giveaway will be harder.
Next giveaway will be harder. I guess I shouldn't make them that easy. Because then there's too many right answers all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So this I got with Mikey Arugula. I was sitting right next to him at the Fest for Beatle Fans in Chicago last August. And I won this in an auction. And it's a hand signed letter from Alistair Taylor. And what was his nickname at Apple? There's an ad saying he was Mr. Fix-It. And he's saying, thank you for your letter dated June of 1986. I'm afraid, however, that I can add nothing to your knowledge of Brian's house in Suffolk, as there is no other address. The address was exactly as you have it. And the only suggestion I can make is that when you get to Heathfield, you ask for Kingsley Hill. Somebody's trying to find out where Brian Epstein's house was, where the Sgt. Pepper premiere party was. You've seen pictures of that. I have a big poster of that. I think I already sold it though. So that's hand signed by Alice Taylor. And I'd like to get the Apple ad that was in Billboard where he's playing a bunch of instruments, and they said this man is going to own a Bentley. They were trying to get everybody to send in their tapes so the Beatles, Apple would decide what to release. But all those tapes that were sent in were put in a closet and hardly ever listened to. They're at 3 Seville Road, Apple, in London. So there were thousands of tapes and stuff sent in, but hardly any of them were ever listened to.
What did one casket say to? What did one coffin say to the other?
What did one coffin say to the other? What's the answer?
I don't know. Gregory Fio said, "Take a guess." Frank Perry Cox's favorite Beatle record of all time.
Perry Cox's favorite Beatle album? Is it the White Album?
White Album? Yes or no?
All right, here's those pictures I haven't shown in a while of me at the Roy Orbison tribute concert in 1992 when I actually had hair. Put out by RC at the Universal Amphitheater.
It was supposed to say casket the first time. The coffin was the answer.
Coffin. Oh. So say it
She
again.
said it wrong.
What did one casket say to the other?
What did one casket say to the other? Coffin.
That makes no sense.
That was the answer.
Mm-hmm.
So there's me with the member that played with the Birds that night when they had their reunion. That's me with Don Was. He has his own record label now. I heard about that on, I think it was Rachel's Ghost or one of those channels. It might have been Steve Westman's. I think that's what I heard. Don Was has his own record label that puts out audiophile pressing. That's me, another picture with Don Was. He's eating a piece of pizza.
I want to see.
Me with John Hyatt. A lot of people said I look like John Hyatt. I don't see that much resemblance.
You look like the Mendez brother.
That's me with the guy from Talking Heads, Jerry Harrison. Looks like he's eating a piece of pizza also. That's me with the man from the Stray Cats. I think it's called Slim Phantom or something. And he's with his the ex-wife of Rod Stewart, Britt Ekelund. And save the last two for the best. I was sitting right behind Paul Stanley from Kiss and Ozzy Osbourne. And when they came out to the aisle, I tried to get their autographs. And Paul Stanley was real nice to me. I even got a picture with him. But Ozzy Osbourne was kind of irritable with me, and he signed real quick, and he says, "I'm in a hurry." And we got the reclusive Bob Dylan that played in the Birds concert, the Birds reunion. He came out and did Mr. Tambourine Man, and I thought it was turn towards the end of the show. But some of his handlers came up to me and said, "You can get Bob's autograph, but please do not take any pictures." And the guy I was with from RC, he snuck a picture of Bob Dylan. He was pretty unkept, but he's a character.
You were wrong. Hard Day's Night UK, Perry's favorite LP stereo.
All right. There's a lot of, I told you, a lot of people think Hard Day's Night is their favorite Beatles album because it's the first Beatles album where it's all Lennon and McCartney compositions. And if you have the UK pressing, it is good from the beginning to the end.
Brad Parnell said, "A man goes to the doctor and says, 'I'm a wing wham, I'm a TP, I'm a wing ma'am, I'm a TP.' The doctor said, 'Calm down, you're too tense.'"
All right. 2 tenths. 2 tenths. You
Danny
gotta say those a little slower, the jokes.
Danny Goldstein said, "Oh my God, you look like Mendez brothers." Was pretty funny.
Huh.
You do. You look like Eric.
All right. We showed that last time.
Mikey said, "It's my favorite."
Hard Day's Night's Mikey's favorite. Oh, we're gonna talk about some favorites. I'm gonna pull out some new things I got in.
Uncle Paul said, "What's the good deed today?"
Beatles' first U.S. visit. You're gonna watch this on Disney Plus next week. 106 minutes. Uncle Paul said somewhere today it was 96 minutes, but I looked it up and it says it's 106 minutes long on Disney Plus next Friday.
Uncle
That's
Paul.
my beta mix of Let It Be.
Uncle
All right, I'm
Paul.
going to show you some nice things here.
Uncle Paul, so what's your good deed today?
Good deed for the day. What was my good deed? You ought to know my good deeds. You work with me. I helped several ladies. They had huge orders today because of our Thanksgiving ad, and I helped a lot of people load up their groceries, and I took a few out to their car.
All you did today at work is yell at me.
Yell at you. That's my good deed. I yelled at Sticker granddaughter.
It's not a good deed.
All right, here's some new arrivals today. Mikey said Hard Day's Night is his favorite album. This is my favorite album. You've heard me say it many times. This is a -1 early 1970s pressing. Stereo pressing of Beatles for Sale. And talk about an album that rocks from the beginning to the end. I don't care if a lot of them are covers. The Beatles could take covers and they can make it all their own. Rock and roll music. Honey Don't. Words of Love. Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby. I say George does a hell of a version of that. And I told you rock and roll music. Mr. Moonlight and Kansas City. People like to make fun of Mr. Moonlight. That's one of their worst Beatle tracks. John Lennon gives it his all. You can't, it's pretty dang good.
Brad Parnell said
Beatles for Sale.
Brad said Revolver is my favorite.
Now here's Revolver, a first press.
Gregory wanted to know if that was a mono or a stereo.
Beatles for Sale.
No, whatever you have. Yeah, the Beatles.
Beatles for Sale is a stereo pressing from the early 70s, and it's ranked by Polygram. I drew a Polygram auction as one of the top 5 audiophile Beatle pressings in the world with that Rubber Soul mono and several other ones. The German Magical Mystery Tour. All right, we got a Revolver. We got a Sgt. Pepper.
Sergeant with the pepper. Pepper with the sergeant.
And we got a German import of Beetle 65. And you know, in the late 70s, the Germans got a hold of the master tapes and they made audiophile pressings of Beatle albums on a Neumann lathe, all tube. This is Beetle 65. You want to get the 72 prefix number. That means they were done in 77. And who's a Brad wants to know about the Revolver?
He just said Revolver is my favorite. That's all he said.
This is a -2, -3, probably a 1967 tube cutting from the United Kingdom of Revolver, a mono pressing. And that's the way to hear Revolver in its true experience. You got to hear the mono mix, the way the Beatles wanted, one they signed off on. You got that. Sold in the UK, hardly played, excellent condition. I just got it in today. I haven't played it, but it's a whole different way of hearing Revolver. Same with the Sgt. Pepper mono. Like Lennon said, you haven't heard Pepper until you heard it in mono. It's so much more powerful in the mono mix on Sgt. Pepper. So this is a stereo, 1967, first press. But it says UK on the inner sleeve. But if you look on the record, it's got the right inner sleeve from the England. The psychedelic inner sleeve, the cutouts. But the record says, made in Singapore by EMI Records. And I don't know what it is. They must have loaned the master tapes out to some countries because this one sounds amazing. It's got -1, -1 stereo of Sgt. Pepper. And Paul McCartney's bass leads this pressing the whole way.
Gregory Field said Beatles for Sale mono also great.
Yeah, but the stereo kicks ass.
Brad Purnell said I used to have a t-shirt with the revolver cover on it.
You used to have a what?
T-shirt with the revolver
All
cover.
right.
Little Beatles Corner said it would be helpful to know what record condition when you show them.
I try to say it. The Sgt. Pepper is an excellent. The Beetle 65. Don't see any play wear on it at all. And that revolver was very good plus. But when you have very good plus on a 1960s pressing from the United Kingdom, they play really good. You can look at it and see a few marks, but you don't hardly hear them at all when you play it.
You want to know the time?
What is the time?
11:31.
11:31. What else do you guys want to see? Any other questions? Got some photos in today with this Beatles estate. That's the original envelope that came from the Beatles fan club in New York City.
That's how we're leaving.
It's got the cardboard insert to protect the photos. It says photos do not bend. It's got a label that says March 4th of 1969. And look at these photos here. These are all the same from the same photo shoot, but they're off just a little bit different. These are all from 1968.
Gregory Field said LP prices.
What on? Which one?
I don't know. LP prices.
Got copyright 1968. These are all solo shots. George Harrison. John Lennon, when he's getting pretty well unkept. He didn't care no more about his appearance, I don't think. You got Ringo and Paul, the two living Beatles at 7 Cavendish Avenue.
Paul's been dead.
Up in his little... You've seen pictures of all 4 Beatles up there. I think that thing in his backyard still exists. The 4 Beatles from the time of Yellow Submarine. Paul being goofy, topless. Paul being chained up. Another goofy Paul in chains. All those were done on the 1968 Mad Day Out when they did all kinds of photos. Paul with his dog Martha. You heard Mikey Arugula talk about the story of Martha. From there, when he was 13, he went to Scotland. John Lennon, a little more kept there. Ringo Starr, as usual, being bored to death. Being with the creative geniuses of John Lennon and Paul McCartney. You can imagine going through 100 takes of Maxwell House's Silver Hammer, or all the takes they did on the White Album. Paul was wrinkles from smoking cigarettes first started showing up. George being pretty serious. I don't know if I showed that John Lennon, or I think I already did. Another of John, Ringo, or Paul, John Lennon with his goofy mask on. And Ringo with the parrot. That was a picture for the Hey Jude promo that was on the sheet music. And Ringo Starr. What do you think of that? All right, I think that does it from Louisville, Kentucky with our Wednesday night live stream. We'll be on Saturday. I think I'll have my Near Mint Mono White album from the UK, number 10,000 and something. First time I've ever had that low of a number, and it's supposed to be in perfect shape. So I will show that. It's got the black inner sleeves. It's got the photo protector. It's got everything. Everybody say goodbye. We got some females watching us now. We're up to 20% on female attendance. So I think the chaperone helped a little bit on that. And Chapel, I told you the Chaperones, she's going to be a duet with Sabrina Carpenter December 6th. So maybe me and Mike Arugula, we're going to do a live stream on Rachel's Ghost the first week of December after this Beatles documentary, because that's going to have everybody talking Beatles. See you later from Louisville, Kentucky.
See you on Wednesday. Goodbye.